Hello and welcome to the United Stand. This is our Manchester United versus Spurs preview show. I tell you what, if you're watching this live and we pull this off tonight, it's going to be a cracking show. Absolutely loads and loads to talk about. And we've got a Spurs fan coming on as well in a few minutes' time. Got an absolute hilarious clip for you from Old Trafford last night. I'm keeping it to the end because it's just a showstopper and I don't want to be beaten by it because it's absolutely fantastic. That's from United Stand Chance. If he's in the live comments, you'll see him. But let's get into this game straight away. I've heard a lot of people saying that Manchester, this game for Spurs is a dead rubber game. There's nothing on it. It doesn't matter. It's boring. Oh, we could do without it. This, that, and the other. Oh, come on. I get excited about the pre-season tour. This is a real Premier League game. So even if we played some of the kids in a real competitive game against Spurs in their last game at White Hart Lane, they're going to be up for it. For me, they've been the footballing side of the season. I'm not standing up for Spurs, my bum was hurting. So it's a big game on this. And also, I'm a bit fed up of the negativity. I'm a bit fed up of the we didn't play well last night, but with the injuries we've had. What injuries? Rojo and Zlatan are the real injuries. What are the other injuries? What is the other fatigue? Because every single club who's been this successful has had this at this stage of the season. I'm bored of it. I'm bored of being told top four's gone because I've said that. But we've had a good one here. Matthew McFadden, thanks for the comment in the super chat. He says, breaking, sources in England confirm there will be a new Mr. Men book starring John Guidetti. It's called Mr. Sitter. Well, we've got a clip of that for you. It's very funny. I'll come back to that in a minute. But look, I don't think top four. I thought top four went after the Everton home draw because I don't trust Manchester United. But when you look at the league table this weekend, if we were to win our last three games, and it's a big if because we've blown it so many times before, but if we beat Spurs, Southampton and Palace, Liverpool draw away to West Ham on Sunday, and Arsenal draw or lose away to Stoke tomorrow, we get top four. So I don't really, if we got knocked out last night, we'd all be going, oh, I really hope Stoke beat Arsenal. I really hope that Liverpool don't win at West Ham. And we play the right team on Sunday, beat Spurs, we can beat Southampton, we can beat Palace, we can get top four. It's still there. I really have got a bit frustrated by Jose and his negativity around this. And just to hammer the point home before I give you the first clip of the night, which is fantastic, this is for me how I would line up in this game on Sunday. He can't just. There's a myth going around that we should rest players for the final, and then they'll be really rusty for the final because the final's 2 weeks away. Whether wrapping Rashford, Pogba, Herrera in cotton wool is a great idea, but just not playing them for 2 weeks is a stupid idea. You've got to keep their match fitness up, so they've got to play in certain games. So I wouldn't play them against Southampton. I'd give them 45 minutes against Palace. And mix it up a bit. But on Sunday, they can bloody well play. Pogba's been out with an injury, so he can play. And we've got a slim chance of top four. We're playing the best team, I think, in the league, footballing side. We can't just go there with the kids. Let's put a proper team out. And my team would be De Gea in goal, Phil Jones and Bailly as centre-backs, because obviously Bailly's got himself suspended. Twan Seaby at right-back, Darmian at left-back, Carrick, can you turn that telly down? Bloody hell. Carrick, Herrera and Pogba as a midfield three. Pogba and Herrera can play in this game, and Mata on the right, he's got to play. Rooney on the left, Martial up front, and that's a good side. That's a side to go to Spurs and beat them. I don't know what you lot think, but that is the side that I would go with 100%. I think it's the right team to go with, and I think. What do you lot think about that? I'm just fed up of this. Oh, top four's gone. I think it is gone. I've got to be totally honest. I do think top four's gone, but it isn't really. It can still be done. We should not. We're throwing in the towel. We threw in the towel before the Arsenal game, which looks even more stupid now because it wasn't gone then. It's not even gone now. I believe it's gone. I'm not being hypocritical. I don't think we can do it, but we technically can do it, and it's not like a 10-goal swing and Liverpool and Arsenal have got to lose the rest of their games. They've just got to, as long as they draw one of their last two games and we win all ours, we can finish in the top four. And I think throwing the towel in, I think Mourinho is sucking fans in a little bit too much. I back Jose, but he's a very clever man, and he is sucking us in because he's sort of lowering expectations, saying, oh, top four's gone, we can't finish fourth, we can't finish seventh, it's fifth or sixth. Well, if Stoke beat Arsenal, their last home game of the season, and West Ham beat Liverpool, their last home game of the season, and we win 3 games, we're in the top 4. We've got to go for it. Really, really we have. Jake Bullman says that Sky Sports claim we're getting James Rodriguez. Didn't I do that about 4 days on the transfer show? You know, it's not breaking news. I said it 4 days ago. So we can win Spurs out of the title race anyway, says Jignesh. I think Chelsea win the title tonight anyway, don't they? Against West Brom. That was my daughter on the telly. Never ever does stuff like that, and she's let herself down. She's let everybody down on the United stand. But let's do a little clip, and I think you'll quite enjoy this one. This was after the Fellaini goal. You'll hear it.
United's goal scored in 27.
Thanks to United Stand Chance for giving us that one. We've got a couple more to give you, which is fantastic. But yes, Fellaini with the goal and European Player of the Year, Europa League Player of the Week. What I'd say about that is don't get carried away by it being some big accolade. They gave Europa League Player of the Week to the bloke who broke Shaw's leg that week that happened. So Europa are not the best at Europa. UEFA are not the most accurate, but I gave him man of the match yesterday. But let's talk very quickly, Romero or De Gea. That's something I would rather talk about rather than Rodriguez, which I told you 3 days ago. So give Sky the credit, but we spoke about it 3 days ago. Just saying. But Romero or De Gea, Mourinho has come out and said that Romero will play in the final because it wouldn't be fair to play De Gea, and De Gea accepts it. Look, I know I'm in the minority here. I know a lot of you like Romero and a lot of you would play Romero, but I'm just going to say this very quickly before we get into some disagreement, because that's what the United Stand's about. It's not about my opinion. A lot of you disagree with me. That's fantastic. That's why we have a comment section. That's why we have a live section. But this is the situation. David De Gea has made us credible for the last 3 years. We've been bloody awful. We could have been mid-table. We could have been bottom half of the table without him over the last 3 years. He's been our best player of the year for the last 3 years. He's been a model professional to this club. He is leaving in the summer, and we are not going to play him in the Europa League final. He deserves to play in that final. He deserves to play in that final, not for sentimentality like Romero is. He deserves to play in goal because he's the best goalkeeper we've got. I believe he's the best goalkeeper in the world, and he's been a fantastic servant to this club. And I disagree with Mourinho on this. I disagree with him. I know a lot of you agree with him and say, well, it's not fair to drop Romero, but I'll keep coming back to it. I will keep saying this to you. Why take the risk? Why take your Ford Focus out for a drive when you can take your Ferrari? De Gea's there, Romero's there. Romero's played very well in the Europa League, but has he really been tested? I know he tipped a few over the bar and he caught a few yesterday, but I'm sure he punched one that led to their goal anyway that De Gea would have caught. I mean, I don't want to be harsh on Romero. He's done really, really well, but this is our ticket into the Champions League, and why are we taking risks? And what worries me about that more than anything is that, look, De Gea's going. De Gea is going this summer, and I'll be happily proved wrong, but he's going. So that'll be his last chance to play in a Manchester United shirt, and we're going to play Romero. I think it's disgusting personally, but it's down to the manager. It's his choice. But away from that, away from the fact that he's been a fantastic servant and our Player of the Year for the last 3 years, and he's the best goalkeeper in the world, away from that, Sir Alex Ferguson wouldn't even contemplate this. He'd put De Gea in goal because it's a big game and he can't afford to take any risks that Romero makes a mistake that De Gea wouldn't because he's the better goalkeeper. He wouldn't do it. So that's how I feel about that. If you want Romero, I can sort of see where you're coming from. But my main concern about what Mourinho said today is that I've got to be fair to Romero. Does this mean he's going to be fair to Fellaini and Lingard in the final? Because I've been doing a lot of research on Ajax today. They're a very good side. They're a very young side. They play the way Ajax have for the last 30 years. They move the ball around. If we don't go toe-to-toe with them expansive football like we could do, I'll go back to this team here. I know it's still missing a couple of first-teamers, but that's a footballing side. Carrick, Herrera, Pogba, Rooney, Mata, Martial. That's a footballing side. You swap Mata for Lingard, you drop Herrera back to Carrick's position, and you put Fellaini in there. It's not a footballing side anymore. It becomes a restrictive side, a stopping side, a parking the bus side. If we do that in the final, I think it's just ridiculously risky. But we'll see what happens with that. But I don't know. Look, I'm not calling Mourinho. Somebody's just called him a clown there. That's not what I'm saying at all. I have an opinion. I think De Gea is the better goalkeeper. He deserves to play in goal, and it's going to be his last game at Manchester United. And I know Mourinho's only been here a year, but we've been Manchester United fans all our life, and I want to see De Gea's swan song be in a Europa League Cup final, winning a trophy and being appreciated by the fans that have loved him for the last years. I don't want to see him sat on the bench leaving, with a grumble when he's been a lion. Leave him with a meow when he's been a roaring lion for us. I think it's wrong. But this is Mourinho. He's stubborn. It's one of the reasons I wanted him, but there'll be frustrating elements to it as well. Right, I'm going to get the Spurs fan on, but just before I do that, let's give you the last clip. Just hang on. It's so funny. It's when Bailly gets sent off. There's a little bit of swearing on it, but the last one will be great. But the next one, let's go. It's not this one.
United.
I'm still here. I'm trying to get it back. It's flash. Here we go. It's got me back. That was from when that chance at the end, that Guidetti chance, which I've watched so many times. I just cannot believe we were that close from going out, weren't we? But yeah, that was from that. The last clip is the Bay sending off, and what you've got to do for that one is just listen to what the fans are saying around the people who film it. That last clip was from a young aspiring journalist. I follow him on Twitter at Hashem786. Really good opinions, and the last two clips are from him. But very funny, the last one. We'll come to that in a moment. But let me get my next guest on. Hopefully we can do this. Let's see if it'll work for me. No, that's not going to work. Hopefully this will work. It's Anna, who's a Spurs fan. Anna, can you hear me? Hello? I can't hear you. Why wouldn't I be able to hear you? That's odd. This is down to this is probably my fault for not testing it before we went live, but we've got a bit of problem with the audio with that, so I'll see if Anna can sort it out. It's definitely a problem at your end, Anna. That's all I would say, because we had Marcus on Skyping last night. But let me just have a look at what people have got to say. My name's Enoch, says Enoch. How West Bromwich Albion getting on? Says Lee Davis. I don't know. The ref was a retard, says El Talc, and Spurs will batter us. Well, I was hoping to get a bit of a Spurs perspective on it. Let me close Skype down and see if that'll help and log back in. What did I say at the start of the video? If this works out, it will be a brilliant show. If it doesn't work out, then it'll still be a brilliant show up to this point. But let's see what happens. But my score prediction for the weekend, let me do that while I'm sorting this out, because I'm used to things going wrong on Skype. 2-1 to Spurs. I don't want to be nasty about it, I really don't. But it's I just think Spurs have been a very good team this season, and I think the negative attitude of Jose Mourinho will be the downfall of us. Anna, can you hear me? No. Okay. Yeah, my score prediction would be 2-1 to Spurs. I do think we should go and put a better side out. I do think we can do better than that. Mourinho sort of. I don't like that. I don't ever remember Sir Alex Ferguson doing it. Correct me if I'm wrong. But before a game's even been played, we are submitting and saying we can't win this game, and we are hiding behind injuries that are really nothing out of the ordinary. I mean, the only two injuries we've got in this squad are Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Rojo. Well, it's normal for people to have injuries, 1 or 2 injuries. The fatigue thing, I think, is a nonsense now as well. Hi, Anna, can you hear me? I can hear you now.
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, that's great. Yeah.
Brilliant. We've made it work.
Let me...
I'm so sorry about that.
No, it's fine. Right, I've got you voice, but...
yeah.
Let me see if I can get the video up as well. Okay, let me do that. Okay, so while I'm setting the video up, obviously you're a Spurs fan, you've got your own YouTube channel. What's your thoughts about the game on the weekend? You think confidence?
I'm really looking. Yeah, I'm actually pretty confident because we've been playing really well this season. So, and especially at home, we've just been absolutely amazing at home. We've had 16 wins and only 2 draws in the league, and it is our last game at the Lay. So we'll definitely be up for it, and I can hardly wait for it. It's going to be really, really emotional.
Okay, I can't get. Oh, this is typical. I can't get the Skype to work. Oh, there we go. We've got it perfectly now. Okay, you're perfect. You're on the screen. That's brilliant. So,
Hello.
the last game at White Hart Lane. What, as a Spurs fan, this is a really interesting question. As a Spurs fan, what's your perception of Manchester United this season? And do you have any concerns about us on Sunday? Because our manager's come out and said no.
It's very interesting. Like, overall, when I started watching football, and obviously United, they've always been a really good footballing side, and I've always enjoyed watching them, especially under Ferguson and stuff. And then obviously he left, and you had a few manager changes. With Mourinho, it's a bit different. Obviously, he's got a very unique style of football, and he's obviously, as you said in your preview for our channel, that he had to work with the squad he was given. So he brought in a few players, but he obviously doesn't have the whole squad he wants. But given that, he still won the Capital One Cup, and he's obviously in the final for the Europa League, so he's doing really well. But it's obviously not the same style, so that's the most interesting part for me, is that, do you want the style but no trophies, which is what we seem to be having, or do you want less of the style but you want the trophies? So yeah, for me that's what it seems like from a distance.
Well, there's definitely a contrast. I mean, this is nothing to do with having a Spurs person on the show. I said it. I've been saying it for the last few months. The best team I've seen Manchester United play this season was Spurs, but we won 1-0 because Harry Kane never ever turns up against Manchester United. He's a bit like Romelu Lukaku, both top scorers this season and scored a lot of goals last season, but they never turn up against Manchester United. Now, I know I'm digging up a grave here because there's probably a Harry Kane hat-trick coming in on Sunday, but
I wish.
a lot of Manchester United fans would like to sign Harry Kane. I mean, I don't think I need to ask you, because I don't think any Spurs players will leave to go anywhere this summer. I mean, have you got any concerns about losing people like Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Lloris?
No, I don't think the 3 players you mentioned are going to leave at all. I think, especially Harry, he's obviously so invested in Tottenham Hotspur. It is literally has been his life. So I'm pretty sure he's not leaving. Ali's got a great future. He's obviously under a great coach, and he's got so much more to learn. I'm not saying he's obviously going to stay forever, but right now he's in a brilliant place. And I think Lloris, as amazing he was when he came to us, he's still improved a lot, and he's still producing brilliant football as well. So I don't really see either of them leaving, to be honest. I don't even know if he would fit in, like Harry Kane, for example, into Mourinho's formation or any sort of style, really.
I'm not a fan of Lukaku or Kane as Manchester United players, and I know it's idiotic to say it because both, well, Everton aren't above us, but Spurs comfortably are. But I agree with you. I think it's down to whether the player fits into what we're looking for, and I don't think he would. But most of my opinions of Harry Kane are based on him not turning up for Spurs against United. Kyle Walker, just very quickly, because we spoke about him on the transfer show this morning. Man City, and I can't see us being in for him because we've got Valencia. But is he a player that you think will go?
There have been a lot of rumours and speculations going on about, more than usual, to be honest. So it seems more than likely. Obviously, I've got no inside knowledge per se, but it seems like he's going. Loads of people have been saying it, despite loads of them saying no, that because it's just a normal rotation scheme and all that. But no, it seems like he's going. It's obviously not confirmed yet. We'll see when he holds up someone else's shirt, for example. But until then, yeah.
If he's a mercenary, he'll go to City. And just very quickly, Eric Dyer is a player that we get linked to quite a lot because we need a centre defensive midfielder. He signed a new contract quite recently, didn't he?
Pretty much the whole team signed a new contract recently. But yeah, I don't see Dyer leaving. He's also having a great time as well with Ali. Obviously, they're best buddies as well. So I don't see either of them leaving per se. Yeah, no, definitely not.
Score prediction for the game on Sunday. I never go against United, but I'm sort of forced to because our manager has basically given it up before we even play it. So I think we will be competitive. I can't see us getting hammered, but I've gone 2-1 Spurs. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm keeping it tight as well, obviously, because as you said, this is not your priority right now, and I'm pretty sure Mourinho was set up quite defensively. And well, it will be our job to break you down. I actually went for a 1-0 in my preview. So again, with just a one goal difference, but 2-1 or 1-0, I think, yeah, it will be tight. And there won't be like a 3-0 or something for sure. I agree with that.
Okay, I mean, if we play you at 4:30 and Arsenal have drawn and Liverpool have drawn, we're back in the race for top 4 again, which I think is ridiculous of Jose to sort of throw in the towel. One thing I've always wanted to ask a Spurs fan, and I don't mind putting people on the spot a bit, is what's it like to bottle the title 2 years in a row? How do you feel about that?
Wait. Okay, so we were the only ones who created a title race this season, per se. So, let's start with that. And second, you can't bottle something you never had in the first place. So, and wait, wasn't it United who had like a 12-point gap at the top, and then they had like a 25-game unbeaten run, and now they're like, what was it, 6th, 5th, something like that? Yeah. Come on.
we had an unbeaten run that started in 6th and I think it ended in 6th. But I did read a very good point from a Spurs fan, to be fair, about the bottling this year, in the fact that I think you're right, you made a title race of it because the gap was quite big and you just kept winning, but so did Chelsea. And I think, to be fair, Spurs have been sort of levelled with their North London bottler rivals as being bottlers towards the end of the season. But one positive is you seem to bottle it later and later every year, if you could call it that.
Definitely. I mean, there's a huge change from last season's mentality to this season's, and we've changed a lot. Obviously, the whole team's matured. You said that it's a young side, and that's very, very important right now for us as well, that we've changed a lot. And we made a title race out of it. I personally always thought Chelsea had it because, especially towards the end, they had the easier games, for example. They already had the lead, so it was always theirs to lose. But at least we made it interesting. At least we were there.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say in defence of Spurs, and what I've said on here in defence of Manchester United as well, is Chelsea. No European football is just such a massive advantage. You saw it last year with Leicester as well. Leicester just playing one game in a week.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. And whenever I talk with a Chelsea fan, I say the same thing, and then they go like, "Oh yeah, come on, what's that mean over like 5 years or something?" No, it is a huge, huge bonus for them that they didn't have to play Europe. That's for sure.
Just on the bottling subject, I just want to ask one question, because I don't follow Spurs, so I don't know. But are you playing your games at Wembley next season?
Yes, we are.
League games as well.
Every game.
So you'll be battling relegation with your form at Wembley then?
Well, yeah. So, I mean, basically after the United game, White Hart Lane, next day will cease to exist, basically. So, yeah, all our games will be at Wembley, and we need to improve, obviously, dramatically on our performance. But personally, I don't think it was Wembley which was the issue. For Champions League, it was our positions. They were really good. You can't knock that. They played really well, and we just weren't prepared for them. As for, if I need to mention the Chelsea semi-final, I think it was our formation. Necessarily, that didn't work. We tried something new and it didn't work. I don't think we should have tried it in a semi-final, but that's a different matter. And I don't think it's the venue. We have so many English players, we have so many international players who know the venue. I don't think it's that per se. I'm not saying it's not a part of it, but I don't think that's like the main thing.
There's a few people think you're talking about Robin van Persie when you say per se, because we get a few foreign people on the live comments. It doesn't mean that. The Spurs, the Wembley thing is a bit like the West Ham thing, I think, in that it's like you go into a ground, and if you play at a ground like White Hart Lane on Sunday, last game, it'll be very intimidating for United. The crowd know how to make it intimidating, and that's the same at a lot of home grounds. The trouble with Wembley is...
Old Trafford as well.
Yeah, well, not so much this year, to be fair. But
in general, like over
yeah, yeah, in general. But the trouble with Wembley is it's sort of a neutral ground, because it's like true. People go there and they're inspired by it, and especially the European teams. So it is a problem. It is a problem that you have to overcome next year. And it's a shame, really, because you're getting closer and closer each year. I think if you had another year at White Hart Lane. How long do you think Pochettino will be there? Because a lot of United fans, before we got Mourinho and we were really fed up with Van Gaal, the two Premier League managers I liked the look of were Pochettino and Koeman, both of which have moved from the clubs they were at and done really, really well. Pochettino linked to Inter Milan, got a lot of money. I don't think he'll go. But do you see him as a long-term person, or do you think he's got another aspiring step in him as a manager? Because he went from Southampton to you. Do you think he'll go from Spurs to, say, I don't know, it won't be us, but maybe a Real Madrid or a Barcelona or something like that?
I'm not sure he would move to Spain necessarily, or even right now. I think he's building for the future for sure. Like, he has a long-term plan, and you could see that. Last year, we exceeded that, and we ended up really, really at the top, which was not in his plans per se. And that's what happened. That's why it didn't work out in a way. And this season, you can see that he's got an idea. He got even more players than he wanted, and we've got it sorted. The next step for him is to obviously bring all that across in Europe. So I don't think he's going to leave soon. Obviously, we need to start winning. You can't just play amazing football. I mean, as much as I'm enjoying it, and this season's been amazing, obviously as a fan and as players as well, everyone wants to win something. But right now, I don't see him leaving. It's going too well.
Okay. We're nearly at the end of the season. I think apparently we're not going to finish top 4 because our manager's already conceded it. I think you will finish second. In fact, Chelsea.
We can guarantee it.
Yeah, are Chelsea champions tonight if they win or something?
Yeah, Chelsea champions, and we can guarantee second if we draw, or at least definitely if we beat you on Sunday.
Okay, so we just a little bit of a prediction because it's the end of the season for next season as to where you're going to finish. We're going to win the title. So do you think you'll come second again or third?
I love your optimism. No, we're going to go for the title. No, actually. All right, let's be realistic.
I don't think Chelsea will win it.
You reckon?
I don't think Chelsea will win it. No, not with European football. I think they'll get found out, to be honest.
Yeah, that should be interesting. I mean, for us, obviously, the Wembley will be a factor of some sort. But yeah, it also depends on who we sign, because I think our squad's good, but it's not deep enough. So if we can get a few key quality players, especially for the early parts of the season when we're going to have the Champions League football, and we can rotate and then keep that going, then yeah, I think we'll be up there in the league as well. Otherwise, it could be very interesting.
Okay. Just before we wrap up, I've got a clip to show everybody. I've been building up to this. It is from last night when Bailly gets sent off. It's long distance. Okay. Again, it's from @Hesham786. But what I would say to everybody watching at home is just bear with it. It's funny at the start, but there's a reference to one of our rivals, which isn't Spurs, Anna. You don't need to worry, towards the end.
Okay.
I find it quite funny, but we'll see what everyone on the live comments sent. I'm just going to whack it on now. The reference was obviously to our friends up in Liverpool. I hope everybody enjoyed that. Anna, I believe you've got your own Spurs channel.
Yeah.
We do get a lot of fans on here who aren't United fans because I think they just like the community stuff. So shout out what your YouTube channel is, because I'm sure there'll be a few. There was a few Spurs fans on before, so that they may not be aware of it. So if you,
it's called Spurs XY. And yeah, we've got a few United fans as well. I know a few who are following, and we always get nice comments. I have a lot of rival fans who follow, actually. So yeah, definitely come and join.
It's difficult because when you have fans of other clubs on and you get on with them, it's almost like, is it sympathetic? But I mean, I wouldn't call Spurs and United massive rivals, although we've had some fantastic. I'll never forget that game at White Hart Lane. You might be too young for it, I don't know, but 3-0 up at half time. You were. And we won 5-3. Yeah. It was an absolutely superb performance.
Do you remember the one where we beat you within like 8 minutes and 3 goals, where you turned up half an hour late?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember many defeats, to be honest. But actually, that reminds me. I did a video the other day, and I said that it's our last night. The match reaction. I said it's our first European final since 2008. To which loads of people said, "No, Mark, we lost the European Cup in 2009 and 2011." That's deliberate. I don't remember defeats. So
no, I'm the same. I totally understand that.
Well, thanks for coming on. Everybody,
thank you for having me.
Please do drop a like on the video. We've mixed it up a little bit tonight. Obviously, you can see that's what my preview, what my lineup for the preview would be. Drop a like on the video. If you're not watching live, give us your comments. But thanks for Anna for coming on. Thanks to @Hesham786 for those clips. I thought that Bay sending off is going to have to go up on Twitter. I think it was hilarious. I'll be back tomorrow. I don't know what time I'm going to do it. It's either going to be 10 a.m. or 2:30. Let me know what you think for a preview, the transfer show tomorrow. We will talk about Rodriguez, but I did announce it 4 days before Sky, so I don't think it's breaking news for them. that's it. That's the show done. Thanks everybody for watching. The weekend's here. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you tomorrow. Let us know in the comments what you prefer us to do. But thanks, Anna, for coming on.
Thank you for having me.